for your Cloverdale Paint starting lineup. In first, playing center field from Pflugerville, Texas, number 26, Connor Rainey. Hitting the second spot, playing right field from Langley, British Columbia, number 28, Elisha Olival. Giants designated hitter in the third spot, coming to us from Fort Worth, Texas, number 21, Lane Snow. Hitting the cleanup spot, playing first base from Monument, Colorado, number 34, Matt Rose. Hitting the fifth spot and catching for your Giants from Calgary, Alberta, number 3, Nick Sauvé. In the sixth spot from Chilliwack, British Columbia, playing third base, number 4, Zach Kavanaugh. In the seventh spot, number 16, second baseman, Ben Schwarzenson. The Giants shortstop is from Goodyear, Arizona. In the eighth spot, number 25, Miles Murphy. And in left field, hitting ninth from Abbotsford, British Columbia, number 5, Connor Martin. Let's make some noise for your Giants starting pitcher today from Queensville, Ontario, number 14, Glenn. The McMurray Giants acknowledge that this game is being played on Treaty 8 territory, the ancestral home of the Queen Dene, and the unceded territory of the Métis. As long as the sun shines, the rivers flow, and the grass grows, we will honor these lands. It's at this time that we ask if you rise, if you are able, and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Their homecoming weekend in Spruce Grove on last Friday and Saturday. They came out to the American anthem on the, or Saturday, Sunday, excuse me. They came out to the Canadian and American anthems on Saturday. And then on Sunday, played the Japanese national anthem for their trio of Japanese players. It was a wonderful, touching moment, and one that we were very excited to see here on FloCollege. Good evening. Welcome. It is the WCBL on FloCollege. My name is Graham Moseman. So excited to have you here with us for what is going to be an absolute 10-bell of a baseball game this evening. We have, technically on the away side, but with a very nice home crowd, the Fort McMurray Giants, who pulled off some may say, an improbable win last night against the Energy City Cactus Rats. And the Cactus Rats, who are having a slimmer and slimmer hold onto the final playoff spot in the Western Division. Now, how is everything going to shape out? Ultimately, we're probably going to have to wait until after the All-Star break next weekend, the All-Star game in Okotoks, to have it fully shake out. But in the meantime, the standings get ever tighter as that lead is down to 3 games for the Cactus Rats, as they get set for a pretty tough little run in for the next little bit. The Fort McMurray Giants, though, are going to start off this one facing down Josh Higgins from Henderson, Nevada. Coming into this game, 25 strikeouts through 34 innings pitched and a nice-looking 4.72 ERA. The first person he will come toe-to-toe with will be Connor Rainey from Pflugerville, Texas. Rolling into this one, 22 for 90, yet to find a home run on the year. Only 5 RBIs, but that is someone who is so gosh darn consistent with getting on base that he is a risk every single time he comes off the batter's box. Opening pitch here. Higgins to Rainey. It goes ball, and we are underway. It is WCBL live from a beautiful evening here in Wood Buffalo, Alberta. That'll be down for ball number 2. A opportune hitter as there ever was. Connor Rainey, if he thinks he has a shot, he'll absolutely swing at it. And that does show for his strikeouts this year. He'll find contact with that one. That'll head out onto the second baseman of Drew Abercrombie. And we are 1 up, 1 down here for the Energy City Cactus Rats as Elijah Oliball will step into this one. Oliball had been off for about a week, nursing some sort of minor injury that we have yet to deduce, but his .313, including a triple this season through 22 games played, is nothing to sneeze at as he'll find contact. That'll head off into right field. It will fall. That'll go for the double, and the Fort McMurray Giants are officially on base and in scoring position thanks to the first ball, first swing from Elijah Oliball. The Energy City Cactus Rats will have nightmares about snow. Not only do they have a snowed out game a number of weeks ago, it was technically hail, against the Sylvan Lake Gulls, but they have been burnt by the man at the plate right now. That is number 21, Lane Snow, as that first pitch from Higgins goes ball. Lane Snow responsible for 2/5 of the scoring for the Giants yesterday, as he homered in one of his early at-bats yesterday. Here's the pitch. That'll be into the shoulder, and Lane Snow, probably safer, frankly, to have him on base than at the batter's box, will head off to first. Doesn't get any easier as the other man who homered for the Fort McMurray Giants yesterday steps in, as Matt Rhodes comes into this one sporting 18 ERA and 18 RBIs, 4 homers and a .273 on the season. That first pitch will go ball. Runners on first and second, no score. That'll foul off. One down here for the Fort McMurray Giants as Connor Rainey was put out with the infield pop-up to Drew Abercrombie, who you can see right there, number 18. As the Energy City Cactus Rats are sporting their home whites with the electric blue numbers and crude black trim, alongside the high-vis yellow Cactus Energy City emblazoned across the chest. There's the pitch. That'll be fouling off. A chance here. Will Nick Hagen find it? Yes, he will. The Spruce Grove native is grabbing that one as the Giants are down another batter. Nick Sauvé, who can be found all over the field from catcher. He has a pitching appearance to playing outfield on occasion and popping into that designated hitter spot. He's as a utility player as you can find anywhere in the WCBL. 6 RBIs, 1 homer, and a .277 here on the season. Here's the pitch from Higgins. That'll go for the opening strike. Just about a perfect day here in Fort McMurray. It will get a little hotter as the evening rolls on. Should peak at about 21 degrees in a couple hours. Might get a smidge of rain, but the chance is slim at best. Makes contact with that one. That'll go off into foul territory, and Dylan Cody getting himself the player of the game nod last night for his efforts for the Cactus Rats. Unable to meet that one, even though he very well might be one of the fastest players in this Cactus Rat outfield. As Nick Sauvé is now 1-2. Two down, runners on first and second. There's the pitch. That'll be ball number 2. And we are doubles across the board everywhere but the scoreboard. Or everywhere but runs scored, I suppose. If only Nick Sauvé was number 2, but no, he had to be number 3 and ruin it. Thanks, Nick. Pitch from Higgins. That'll go up and into foul territory. And how about that play from Elijah Bear? Able to track that one down in foul territory. And that'll do it for the side. We'll take a break and be right back. The Energy City Cactus Rats are on deck with Dylan Cody, Drew Abercrombie, and Timo Aracina's 402 up next. We'll take a break. You are watching Fort McMurray Giants baseball on FloCollege.
He's got a hot dog for you on the first base canteen. On the mound for your Giants, number 14, Luke Glenn. To the plate for the Energy City Cactus Rats, number 33, Dylan Cody.
2 for 4 yesterday was Dylan Cody. Stolen bases as well, and he is taking his air you as that will not be in play. As that is Drew Abercrombie going to give Dylan his bat back. Dylan Coney from Merrillville, Indiana. Had a nice little chat with him this weekend at the Energy City Cactus Rats home games. As that'll be in for ball number 2. Any closer, we would have had to use that iconic phrase in sports. That's using your face. Thankfully, he's okay, and the at-bat continues. Here's the pitch, the swing, and that'll go down as the 2-2. I could talk with Dylan this weekend at the Energy City Cactus Rats homecoming games. I frankly wanted to apologize as I had been calling him Dylan a couple of times. And his exact words were, it's all good, as he makes contact. That will head off into right field, and Elijah Oliball is there to snag that one, and that'll do it. First out as Dylan Cody heads back to the Cactus Rats bench. Drew Abercrombie is still not, based on our last conversation, still not totally used to how weirdly bright it stays late at night as his first string goes for the foul, or it goes for the strike, excuse me. As he heralds from Victoria, certainly much darker on that part of the Canadian landscape. Whew. As I get myself back together for my pregame nap, that'll go for the foul. 0-2 the count as Abercrombie holds in here. Not one to let a 2-strike count bother him, as he has some of his best work when he is in danger. And he'll make contact. That'll head off into right field just past. And that will put one on here as Abercrombie takes first, and Timo Aracena, and that just stellar 402 average, heads up to the plate. 1 on, 1 down. Aracena at ready. Definitely doesn't have the same. That goes for ball. Oh, they go for strike, excuse me. Definitely doesn't have the same knack for going yard as he did last season, as this is his second season with the Cactus Rats franchise. 12 homers on the year and a 296 average. As he'll go swinging at that one. Checking in on Abercrombie is your starting pitcher. Luke Glenn goes to the pickoff. And the Queensville, Ontario boy will not be fast enough there. Stellar season for Luke Glenn. 1.63 ERA through 27.2 innings. That'll go ball. "23 strikeouts. Aracena makes contact with that one, but that will go foul as well. Already gone for the one pickoff here to try to snag Drew Abercrombie at first, but will it be a second attempt at a steal? We'll have to keep an eye on Abercrombie there just to the right of your screen. There's the throw. The ball will go. Throw to second. Stolen away as Abercrombie finds his way into scoring position on the outside ball thrown to Timo Aracena. Count to 2-2 now, one down. Richiro Uno waiting in the wings. There's the pitch, finding contact. A foul off for Aracena. Count holds firm at the 2-2. Going to go from lefty to righty here with Uno up on deck. That goes ball number 3. This count is full. That one head off in foul territory. And will it go foul enough? It will not, as the waiting mitt of Zach Kavanaugh is there for the second out of the inning for the Energy City Cactus Rats. But that brings Richiro Uno up to deck here. Doesn't have these sterling numbers, but he is almost as likely to get walked as he is to get struck out. 5 hits through 15 or 30 at-bats this year, only 15 appearances. First one goes called strike on Richiro Uno playing through Odessa Community College. One on for the Cactus Rats. That will foul off, and Abercrombie will have to head back. As we have righty on righty violence occurring with Glenn and Uno right now. Definitely a bit of a wind here in this one. We will talk about that when the Cactus Rats are up next, or when the Giants are up next, excuse me, after this inning is wrapped up. There's the throw. They'll say he went around. That'll do it. Side is retired. And we'll take a break and be right back with the second inning. You're watching Giants Baseball on FloCollege.
Miss a single pitch of the action. up to bat for the Fort McMurray Giants, number 4, Zach Kavanaugh.
Zach Kavanaugh goes straight to the first. Break number 2. It's pulled to hand by go outside for first ball. Really awesome article up here on AlbertaDugoutStories.com. This came out today by McMurray. We don't see his byline on Dugout Stories, but always nice to include great writers, great storytellers. Abercrombie will get that one. Throws to first, and Kavanaugh goes down in this one.
16, Ben Schwarmson.
Ben Swimminson now will check his way in. Gordon Montgomery chatted with Cactus Rats head coach Jordan Blundell on the fact that this team has really been the road warriors, as in their 31 games so far. As Swimminson fouls off that first pitch. Only 2 of the games have been at home, and it wasn't even at the Cactus Rats home ballpark. Now, hopefully we'll have some news on that very, very soon. Like we said last night here on this broadcast, the players and coaching staff got a tour of the Mid-Progress Energy City Metro ballpark, and the common thing you heard from the players was, wow, what a facility it's going to be when it finally comes online. And the fact that the Cactus Rats have been able to hold on to this final spot is impressive, given how they haven't had any really home at all so far, as that goes foul. One of the things that's really made a difference to this particular team has been how close they are. And based in Sherwood Park last year, only winning 12 games all season, at times, according to head coach Jordan Blundell, wasn't the most connected group. As Swimminson makes contact for that one, that'll head on out into the outfield, and down he'll go. As that'll be out number 2, and Miles Murphy will return to the dish here. One of the things that has really helped a lot of these players has been the community gyms. Now, a lot of hotels will have some sort of workout facility, obviously key for your conditioning, as that'll go in for the strike number 1. But especially when the Cactus Rats are in town like Fort McMurray, which have absolutely stunning community rec facilities, they will try as much as possible to pop in for a day so guys can get in a good workout, as that'll go for strike 2. Can get in for a swim. And when you spend so much time on the road, it's caused a lot of bonding. It's helped players support one another when there are moments of adversity. Someone has a bad game. There's the throw from Higgins, as that'll go into the dirt for the first ball of this at-bat, as our count goes to 1-2, 2 down. Base is empty. Miles Murphy sitting in here on this one. Now, Murphy with 12 RBIs and a 183 here on the season, 16 for 87 at the plate. There's the throw. There's the swing. That'll go off into the first base putout, and that'll do it. We'll take a break and be right back with the Fort McMurray Giants and Connor Martin coming in to this one. Rainey and Oliball will see the box as well. As we take a break, we'll be right back. You're watching Fort McMurray Giants baseball on FloCollege.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Number 29, Marcos Frangido.
We'll go for the first out of this one.
Number 32,
Elijah Bear up now, finding himself on third base. That'll go in for strike number one. He'll go swing at that one. And that will do it for the first couple Cactus Rat batters. We go 2 up, 2 down. We should bring Spruce Grove's Nick Hagan up now. Should he find himself on base, we have Kenyon Sanders and his 231 waiting in the wings. Nick Hagan, 222 on the year as he'll foul that first one off. That pitch will go for the ball. As we find ourselves here in the bottom of the second. Hagan makes contact. That'll go deep into center field. And it will not go the distance, but that should be a double at least. And Hagan's going for 3. How about that? As Nick Hagan slides in and with 2 runners down, gets himself 90 feet away from home plate with Kenyon Sanders here to hopefully pot in the first run for the Energy City Cactus Rats. 21 hits on the year, 91 at bats. And, well, that'll do it. Disregard. That was all the hype in the world, and that'll do it. All right, well, that was anticlimactic. We'll take a break. I'll be right back. You're watching Cactus Rats and Giants baseball here on FloCollege. Didn't even get a chance to hype up the bat. Rolling into this one as the shadows are starting to get longer and longer and longer here from beautiful downtown Fort McMurray. That'll go for the early strike number one. Call the balls there for Connor Martin. Apologies, he had a bit of a microphone goober. It's the technical term. As Higgins and Martin face each other down, that one will head off to the third baseman, who swings it to Higgins, who taps the bag. Down goes Martin.
From Dakota State University, number 26, Connor Rainey.
And Connor Rainey is back, chopping out early in this one, as he has yet to find the base today. He'll make contact with that very first one. That'll go off into center field, and waiting there will be Kenyon Sanders. And just like that, the Giants are 2 up, 2 down. Elijah Oliball coming in next. Strike one. This ongoing showdown between Higgins and Oliball will continue. That'll be tipped off foul. That one will go in for the single. Chance there of the second baseman to get on it, but it will not be so, I am afraid, as getting on to first base will be Elijah Oliball. 2 down, and the former home run batter, I guess everyone's a former home run batter if you ever hit a home run. The one who hit a home run yesterday, Lane Snow, is up next. Lane Snow is standing in here tall. 2 down. That'll be ball number 2. That'll be for the strike. Gotta be careful, though. Lane Snow can send this one out at any moment. Here's the throw from Higgins. He'll make contact. That'll head off into Timo Aracena, who will whip it to Elijah Bear. And that'll do it for the side. We'll take a break and be right back at the bottom of the third. And the Energy City Cactus Rats coming up next. You're watching Giants Baseball on FloCollege.
Hey, you know what's going on? We've got Stomper down there by the kids zone, and Stomper is looking to give away a slushie down there. So head on down. He's drinking slushies. Maybe you can drink a slushie with him. Stop on down and see Stomper. He'll be down the kids zone for you. That's number 13, Kenyon Sanders.
Sanders. Looking for a little confirmation as to what exactly happened at the end of the second inning. So as Sanders is hit by a pitch and down goes Kenyon. Oh boy. That does not look great. Ouch. And the trainers and coaching staff will check him out. That is something you just hate to see. As the training staff, the former McMurray Giants, will check in here on this one. We're going to take a quick break here, and we will be back. It's the Cactus Rats and Giants here on.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Elias Campbell. You know, it looks like Kenyon is going to be okay. Real stuff on that. And the other second, he is nervous. I'm kind of set up here. Is a little I'm largely calling off a monitor, and so I'm able to kind of check in with folks as things are going and get a sense of what's going on to get like the best feet call properly. But occasionally some signals get crossed. I'll see something that's not quite there, or call a play for how I can see it on a little screen, and it won't fully be what we're getting. It is happening in actuality. It's unfortunately just kind of a part of what we're doing here, and I'm really sorry. We're doing our best as technology is fighting up, and That will be the balk. And wow, that will send Kenyon Sanders, who is staying in the game, off to second base. Nice to check in with Kenyon there as he looks like he's doing okay. Pitch from Glenn. As that'll be down in the dirt for ball number 2. But like I said, things are not fully set, unfortunately, when you're doing your best and working off a little screen and trying to get a look at the field. So as things come up, we'll do our best to kind of catch them. But it is my apologies. We are working within the bounds of technology here for Giants and Cactus Rats baseball here on FloCollege. There's the pitch going for the bunt, and he'll make it. How about that? Kenyon Sanders will go to third. Elias Campbell is going to make it to first on that bunt, as the 4 McMurray infielders are unable to make the play. And with 0 outs on, we have Dylan Cody. That'll go past Cody for strike number 1. Going for the swing. And not able to make the steal is Elias Campbell, who is been Jane's addiction and been caught stealing for the first out of this inning. Of course, one of the great grunge acts of our time. One down. Kenyon Sanders 90 feet from home. That'll be in for ball number 1. Dylan Cody fighting through this one. Here comes the pitch, and that'll be ball number 3. So we got a strike, a foul. As that'll be another foul, and this full count will hold on here as Dylan Cody fights through this showdown with Luke Glenn. Drew Abercrombie and Tino Orsina up next, as that'll go for the ball number 4. And how about that? Dylan Cody is on the corner. 1 down, and the 2 most dangerous hitters in this Cactus Rat lineup are up next. Huge opportunity here for Drew Abercrombie, as a single brings home Kenyon Sanders, who we are ecstatic to see stay in this game after being down on his knees after being hit by the pitch earlier from Luke Glenn. That'll go foul. As Timo jogs and grabs that loose ball. Back on base. Second one, Cody will be safe. Throw from Glenn. He snags yet another base in this young season, as Dylan Cody picks up his third stolen base on the year. Making contact with that one is Drew Abercrombie. That'll go down for the fly ball. Chance here for Kenyon Sanders. Can he get home? Yes, he will. As that'll go down for the sacrifice fly for out number 2. But that'll still bring in the runner. As Kenyon Sanders finds himself home, Dylan Cody will hang on to second base, as this score moves to a 1-0 margin in favor of the Energy City Cactus Rats. Two down. Cody on second for Timo Aracena. Here's the pitch. There's the strike. Two down here. Bottom of the third. As that goes way outside. Cody looking for his second consecutive steal, trying to sneak past Miles Murphy and Ben Swenemson. Cody jumps forward, jumps back. Here's the throw. And making contact with that one is Timo Aracena. Or he will make it to first. Cody will get home. And that'll bring up Richiro Uno. That is a 2. My apologies on my screen. Very much looked like that one had Timo being thrown out at first. As he gets in for what will amount to his 7th run of the year, excuse me. Richiro Uno makes contact with that one, and that'll retire the side. Nice little inning for the Fort McMurray, for the Energy City Cactus Rats, as they are able to bring home Kenyon Sanders after being hit by that pitch, and Dylan Cody for the 2-0 lead. We'll take a break and be right back. The top of the 4th is on deck with your Fort McMurray Giants. of space for Matt Rhodes as he'll have to go take a little walk, resettle, and get right back into this. And that'll do it. Say farewell to Matt Rhodes and say hello to Nick Chauve. As Josh Higgins has made his way through 3 innings here for the Energy City Cactus Rats. 3-2 on the season with a 4.71 ERA, as that first one will go off foul. Improving on his 25, now 26 strikeouts here on the season. A lot more work this year than last summer for the then Edmonton Prospects. Nice to see the sun pop out here in Fort McMurray. As that is ball 3. 1 down, empty bases. Pitch from Higgins, making contact with Chauve. That'll go off in left field. Going. That goes hard. Nick Chauve sends that over the Let's Go Giants sign on the left outfield. He will touch them all. Go for the helmet tap and the jump. Down he goes. This is a 1-2 game as the solo home run from Nick Chauve cuts the Cactus Rat lead in half. Nick Chauve will take that one as Zach Kavanaugh returns. I'll go for the called strike. That'll hit dirt. That'll be ball. That will be an easy put out. And so Elijah goes to Elijah Bear, and that'll make it 2 down here for the Fort McMurray Giants. Nice work by Nick Hagan to sling that one. As Ben Sweatimson returns to this one. Sweatimson using all of that frame. As that one hits dirt. That'll be ball number 1. Almost looks like he's golfing out there. That'll make contact heading up into the air and into the waiting arms of Elijah Bear. And down goes the side. We'll take a break and be right back with the bottom of the 4th. You're watching Fort McMurray Giants baseball here on FloCollege. The single run of that half inning, courtesy of Nick Chauve. Leading us off here in this one is right smack dab will be Marco Francoeur. His pink glove shine in this February sun. It's from Glenn second is Francoeur. That will go for the throw to check in next here. Making contact with that one. As it goes foul, though, is Elijah Bear. Nice to see some life from the bats, even if it is brief. Elijah Bear sitting in for this one. Here's the pitch. There's the contact. That will head on off in the right field and womp womp. Down for the count. Nick Hagan, who I mistakenly thought had a triple earlier on. It was not to be, however. We'll get that first strike off the initial ball. That'll do it. Nick Hagan will go popping that one up. Thrown out to first, and the side will be retired. We'll take a break and be right back. The top of the fifth inning is on deck. We'll take a break. It's Giants baseball on FloCollege.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
And we're back. It is Giants baseball here on FloCollege. As Connor Martin will send that out, and it'll be dumped to first, and down he'll go. Murphy out before that with the early fly. And just like that, this half inning is almost at an end, as Connor Rainey now finds himself at the plate. Early ball one here. Florida National University. Great things about being the southwest United States. Play baseball all year round. A handful of times had snow been seen in and around the Henderson area. As there's the throw. Now I'll go for the ball. So unlike up here where you got to spend a lot of time, especially if you want to really work at it in your academy time, where we spend a lot of time in batting cages through the winter. It's not the case for a lot of these Cactus Rats who have found their way down south, as this one goes for a ball number 3 with one foul, a count of 3-1. That'll be outside, and ball number 4 as Connor Rainey takes the base, which is frankly the most dangerous place for him to be, especially considering Elijah Oliball is on now, as he's gone 2 for 2 today with a 3.12 on the season. You got to be careful. Rainey's greatest, some of his best work is definitely as a base runner. Going for the pickoff, not going to happen. As you can hear, the flagpoles banging around here. A decent little amount of wind is rolling through the valley here in downtown Fort McMurray. The pickoff attempt to second, and Rainey will be safe as he is stealing second. That throw was very close to making it there. I'll put Rainey on second, 180 feet away from home. Definitely has the speed. As that one goes dirt, got to be really careful if you're the catcher, Nick Hagan, right now. Can't let any of these balls get by you, as Josh Higgins hits further and further off into his count. As looks like this will prompt the visit from Nick Salhoob to check in with the pitching staff. You get one visit from Coach Nick and then a second one from Coach Jordan. And when that happens, that is usually it for you if you are an Energy Snake Cactus Rats pitcher. Checking off into their bullpen, though, not seeing a ton of activity yet. Can't really quite get off if there's a netting up, so can guess that Higgins will stay in this one a little bit longer. As we have a fan very gleefully banging on some piece of metal that is quite close to our in-stadium microphone, so apologies if that's being a little distracting. There's the throw. That'll hit dirt. That'll be ball number 3. I believe, no, that'll be ball number 2. Unfortunately, I have to keep my own scorecard as the outfield scoreboard is a little outside of my corner visual. Here's the throw. And that will do it. As a dangerous bat in Lane Snow hits the batter's box. 2 homers, 3 for 22 in his young season for the Giants. Only 22 at-bats in just a handful of games, as he'll go foul with that one. A single here would load the bases, with home run hitter Nick Sauve just a couple slots away, and Matt Rhodes up next. I mean, depending on where that single goes, it could even trigger a run home. At the very least, would certainly load him up. Here's the throw. Going swinging is Lane Snow, and that will do it. Or, oh, not quite. See, this is why I say I can't trust my own scorecard. I have the writing of a doctor with epilepsy and a hook for a hand with a pencil taped to it. Here's the throw. That'll do it. Now we are officially struck out as Lane Snow will go down in this one. We will take a break and be right back. The Energy Kansas City Cactus Rats will hit the batter's box at the bottom of the 5th. You're watching Giants baseball on FloCollege. First, and down goes Kenyon Sanders. As Elias Campbell finds his way to the plate once again. Mostly just happy to see Kenyon Sanders still in this game. That'll be outside for ball number 2. 2-1 the count, empty bases, 1 down here. Cactus Rats at the slimmest of leads at 1-2 at the top, or bottom of the 5th inning, excuse me. As Campbell make contact with that one, cannot beat the throw to Rhodes, as that'll go down as out number 2 for the Energy City Cactus Rats. Dylan Cody in here now. Yes, his name does look like Dylan, but we thank his billet family for getting us all worked out here, as he will hit that one over the head of the second baseman and find his way to first, as Dylan Cody is swinging at the first thing he sees, and he will end up on first base. With the ever dangerous Drew Abercrombie here. That will pop up and unfortunately be snagged off foul territory by the shortstop of Miles Murphy, and that'll do it. We'll take a break. Be right back. You're watching the Fort McMurray Giants and the WCBL on FloCollege.
Hey, check it out, Giants fans. It's mid-team night at the ballpark tomorrow. Join us for an evening of culture, community, and celebration, featuring local 18 artisans, traditional crafts, anything that's going to get your toes and tapping. Don't visit its unique chance. Don't visit its unique chance to cheer on the home team and experience the vibrant 18 culture all in one night. Friday night, we're showing out other favorites. Saturday, we're bringing up the mechanical bull. It's country night. We've got all kinds of stuff happening for you here for Giants. It's not just baseball. It's a fun family night at the ballpark.
Top of 6 in that roll. Set that one up into left field, and there it is.
Go Giants, number 3, Nick Solveig.
Nick Solveig in here now. Already homered today, as he'll foul that first one he sees off. 2-1 lead for the Cactus Rats. Looks like that'll go. Yes, it will. That is the solo shot from Chauvet, as he will get his unbelievably second home run of the game. How about that? What a show putting on by Nick Chauvet, as you start to see the Energy City dugout and the bullpen getting real spicy. Zach Kavanaugh checks in next. So that goes inside. Looked like the same place, but they're calling that a strike one. Swinging and missing at that one. And this count moves to 1-2. As the Fort McMurray Giants find themselves a little action here down. No longer down the scoreboard. Down in outs, though, as there are 2 on the board. Or just 1, excuse me. Oh, call that an early premonition, as now it's 2 outs on the board. Bringing up our old pal Ben Schwenimson. A bit of a strange weather phenomenon here, as we're actually at the hottest point of the night here in Fort McMurray, even though the sun isn't as prevalent. Just the way everything kind of sits, you get a lot of retained heat, and it's going to be pretty warm for the next about half an hour, 40 minutes before it'll drop down to temperatures we're a little bit more familiar with, as the wind is wreaking havoc on us here. Apologies, as that looks like it went ball number 1 for Higgins. As Josh Higgins will see that popped up. And that'll do it. We'll take a break. Bottom of the 6th coming up next. It is Cactus Rats baseball. Or top of the 7th coming up next, excuse me. It's Cactus Rats baseball here on FloCollege.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Officially bottom of the 6th with Timo Arcina coming up in this one. This game tied at 2. that'll be outside for ball number 2. Timo stands tall in that one. Only 1 strike to his name on this at bat. And Timo will go for a walk, heading off to first base. And Zach Barnell will check into this one. That's who's at the plate right now.
6, Matt Haggard.
McMurray Infinity Cleaners, Prime Science, Wall Bluebell Associates, and SMS Equipment.
This is your last call for 50/50 tickets. You know where to get them. Sales end at the 7th day. Good luck. From Emory Rivers University, number 25, Miles Murphy.
There it goes. Playing there as like just a little bit of a microphone or error on that one. Apologies. Not sure how much we ended up missing or how much game we ended up missing here. As we will bring Connor Martin back to this one. Connor Martin had an appearance of pitching earlier on in this one, or for a little bit yesterday, which is a little strange to see, as this game remains deadlocked at 2 apiece. Martin will make contact with that one. That'll go over the hill. Unable to jump on that one is Abercrombie. As Martin goes 1 for 3 on the day and finds himself on first. As Jordan Blundell comes in, and that looks like it'll do it for the night of Josh Higgins, who still put together a tidy little outing. Winning this one with 28 strikeouts on the year. We'll get you a name on the currently warming up pitcher in just a quick moment. We'll take a break and be right back. It is Cactus Rats and Giants baseball here on FloCollege.
The kind of music you'll hear at the Baby Road after the center fireplace. Coming up on the 19th.
And we are back. working through this. It's really fun. And that'll be for strike one. Pickoff attempt. He'll be just a little bit behind as Martin will stay safe as the sound effects are aplenty here. Only 4 stolen bases on the year. So you don't have to be too worried about Connor Martin. But definitely still someone to watch, as a lot of these Fort McMurray base runners do go with speed and aplomb. Here's the pitch. That'll be ball number 2. Connor Rainey standing tall here. Here's the pitch. Finding the contact. It'll just go out of the reach of a Bear, and that'll be enough to send Martin to third, Rainey to first, and we will have runners on the corner with only 1 out. As Elijah Oliball comes into this one 2 for 2 on the day. Going for the double. That'll do it. And the double play is turned, and that'll retire the side, and getting out of some danger are the Cactus Rats. That could have been absolutely painful. And instead, they get out of this one largely unscathed, as this score remains at a 2-2 margin. We'll take a break and be right back. It's Giants baseball here on FloCollege.
13, Kenyon Sanders.
That'll be Eli McKean finally stepping in here for Luke Glenn, who tonight will go to the dugout. Hard to complain about that only. I think we only have a couple of pins on that one. Kenyon Sanders will foul that one off. Scary moment earlier on in this one as he was hit by the pitch and down for a not insignificant amount of time. Kenyon Sanders will beat the throw. He is safe and on base. What a return from a injury that, full disclosure, very much thought he was not going to be recovering from. As Connor Martin as Campbell will step in here next. Here's the throw, ball number 1. I'll go ball 2. The bunt will go foul. Kenyon Sanders is back in full health. Got to keep an eye on the steals for him. Always he is on the baseline. And there he goes. Will he make the throw? Yes, he will. As Kenyon Sanders makes up for, or continues to improve on his evening. As he will find himself on second. Dylan Cody is warming up next. As Campbell will go swinging at that one. And that will do it. That'll be in for the 0-1. That'll be out for ball number 2. One down, Sanders on second. A 2-2 ball game here. As the Cactus Rats try to fight to keep their couple of games lead on the Fort McMurray Giants. Last run came from Fort McMurray back in the 6th inning. Contact made with that one. That will head on out to right field, and that'll go down as out number 2 as Dylan Cody will head off on that one to the applause of the Fort McMurray Giants faithful. Keep an eye on the outer right field over there as for whatever reason, it's a tradition we sometimes see throughout the game. Kids will go for a roll, and they'll start at the top and just go down that hill as fast as they possibly can, much to the chagrin of their parents, I am sure. As this mound visit comes to a close. That one will go outside on Drew Abercrombie. Kenyon Sanders with a lot of speed, someone that can easily score the single. And just like that, that is in play. Sanders goes home, and this score moves to a 3-2 margin, tilted in the way of the Cactus Rats as that RBI single puts Drew Abercrombie on first and sends Kenyon Sanders back to the dugout, but this time it's in brackets positive. And that is gonna do it. As sitting down is gonna be Eli McKean after a very brief appearance and has yielded another run scored for the Cactus Rats. We'll take a quick break, get at pitching info for you, and we'll be right back. The score is 3-2 in favor of the Energy City Cactus Rats. 3 runs on 5 hits, 2 runs on 6 for the Giants. We'll be right back. This is Fort McMurray Giants baseball on FloCollege.
For more than 25 years, we've been there, helping Canadians find the extra space they need to grow and to create new memories. Access Storage. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Now hitting number 10, Timo Aracena.
Timo Aracena at the plate and Ash Amerlin here for the Giants. Amerlin throws a whole lot of balls and a whole lot of strikes, as in a recent appearance against the Moose Jaw Miller Express, Moose Jaw expressed concerns that some tomfoolery may be about. Did a whole little check on Amerlin, as that goes for strike one. After a check-in with the umps, well, turns out he was just really good. A shocking thing, I know. That'll foul off for Aracena. We have Abercrombie on first after that RBI single to tilt this game in favor of the Cactus Rats. 2 down, Amerlin in. Here comes the pitch. And that is a screamer. But that'll still go for ball number 2. Here's the throw. Calling that strike 3. And if you can say body language reads is not impressed, and that is exactly what we are seeing from Timo Aracena right now. We'll take a break and be right back. The 8th inning is up next. You are watching Giants baseball on FloCollege.
Construction General Workers Union Local 92 and Alex Diesel Calibrations. Designated hitter number 21, Lane Snow. Here comes number 34, Matt Rose. Giants, number 3, Nick Silva.
Welcome back. As we are already flying through this one, as we have a Lane Snow single, a double from Matt Rhodes, And now runners on second and third with no outs. And a man with 2 home runs to his name so far, and Nick Chauvet at the bat here today. Not an ideal place for the Energy City Cactus Rats, but if they've been able to do anything, it's get themselves out of a bind more than once this season. As that will head out to center field. Go down as a 2 RBI triple. As the Fort McMurray Giants make this a 4-3 margin. Big moment here for Sauve. Or Kavanaugh, excuse me, as that'll, thankfully for the Cactus Rats, end up in 1 out at least. Javi Izaguirre comes in for Ben Sweatimson here on this one. Izaguirre, a big jump up in averages. He comes in with a 289 on the season. 14 strikeouts, 8 walks, 4 RBIs. Still looking for that home run dinger, though. But it will not be long now, as he comes in with 14 hits on 38 bats throughout the season. 11 hits, excuse me. And not able to make it home is Nick Sauve. As Izaguirre pops out, Sauve tapped out at home. And that will do it. The Giants pull into the lead by a 4-3 margin. We'll take a break and be right back. It is Giants baseball.
Zach Barnett.
Replacing Richiro Uno, we have number 37, Zach Barneo now. Zach Barneo, the winner of last year's home run derby. Swing at that one. Well, looks like I got a little bit of a microphone problem there again. Apologies. He'll go down swinging. As that will sting for Zach Barneo.
Now hitting 29, Marcos Frangio.
Marco Franhuel, brand new to this team, as that ball was thrown what felt like in the vicinity of 10 for McMurray. One hit on his 4 at-bats so far as a Cactus rat this season. 0 for 2 today. Empty bases, as here is the pitch. That'll be inside. It'll roll behind. The pitch from Amerlin. They will call that one the first strike of this go. Can Amerlin continue to have a bit of a wobbly strike zone? We shall see. Yes, he will. As Marco Franhuel finds himself up onto first base. And now in for
32, Elijah Bear.
Elijah Bear. We will have Parker Husu, who is making a very strong case to end up on the All-Star list for this Cactus Rat squad. We will find the All-Star roster being released tomorrow for the entire league. See who is going to end up at the All-Star game in Okotoks, not this weekend, but the weekend after. Should be a stellar day and a bit of baseball. Nick Hagan, Kenyon Sanders on deck if this one should continue. One down, one on here. 1-run lead for the Giants as Husu is swinging. Down he will go for the second out of the inning, which brings up Nick Hagen, who is 0 for 3 on the day. Has come so close several times here.
Now hitting 26, Nick Hagen.
Going for a swing is Nick Hagen. And he's behind early in this one. 2 down, 1 on. The tying run is Fran Huell. Hagen holding in here strong. That will single into the infield, going for first. And Hagen will be safe. How about this?
Now for the Cactus Rats, number 13, Kenyon Sanders.
So you got runners on first and second. 2 down, and Kenyon Sanders here in this one. Someone who many of us didn't expect to continue in the game as that one goes ball 1. Making some contact with this one, but it'll go off foul. Is Kenyon Sanders. Gotta wonder if his hitting is being affected at all by that hit by a pitch earlier in this game that did drop him to his knees. Incredibly painful that one looked. There's the throw. That'll be outside. Ball number 2 for Kenyon Sanders. Two down, 2 on. The slimmest of leads for the Fort McMurray Giants as a pitching visit will occur for Ash Amerlin. Stepping off and walking around and see what a big moment this is for Kenyon Sanders. And he will go down swinging. But the let's go down, more hold on in swinging, but that should make this count fairly full as that foul is tipped off. Now the count appears to be 3-2. And that'll be a walk. That will advance everybody. 2 outs. Everybody on. And Elias Campbell in here right now. As your Elias Campbell have to be playing with a little bit of spice. Especially considering the signing of Adam Bighill. That'll be strike one. Third base up says it's a ball. First base up, excuse me. That's how that would work. Here's the pitch that'll stay inside. As this count is a 2-1. Amerlin with the stare down. Oh, it'll be another ball. He'll go down swinging as Elias Campbell will just about be on his last life here. We'll see. As it's one of the first going for the swing. He went around on that one, and Amerlin sits down the side with runners filling up the baseline. That has to sting if you're a Cactus Round supporter. We'll be right back. 3 runners stranded. You're listening to Fort McMurray Giants Baseball on FloCollege. The ever dangerous Miles Murphy is in. And stepping out of this game will be Steele Whitcheck, who replaces Archer Bloomington. Here's the throw. They'll go down for the strike one. That'll be way outside. Thankfully, no runners on to score there. That will continue to load up this count as Whitcheck is working to narrow this. We're going to narrow this zone in. There's the throw. That'll be outside, and Murphy is on to first. Connor Martin will not be able to make that one. However, Murphy will turn back around and make it to second. That was a little weird. That was a weird one. Well, one down here as the Cactus Rats look to rein in as much damage as they can and hopefully turn this into an easy walk-off situation. We do have at second now Seiji Umezawa, who is in for Marco Franhuel. As Franhuel goes in for Husu over at first. Gotta be careful with Connor Rainey here. That 244, an extremely consistent run of getting on base. And if he is on base, he is very likely to score. Already a hit here today. That one goes inside. Count is 1-1. Murphy on second. Able to bloop that right in. Florida third is well behind. As Team Aracena goes to tag, but the runner's already safe. And with one down, we have runners on the corner. At this point, you just gotta hope you can get throws that'll get to home faster than runners will, which is a very tall order when your runners are Miles Murphy and Connor Rainey. Elijah Oliball checking in now as that goes to the Oliball one. Now I go for the strike one. Got to keep an eye out on the steal because if Oliball can get his hands on this one with a steal, that is an easy 4-run lead that'll be very difficult to overcome for the Cactus Rats. The throw to first. And he is safe. Apologies for some of the technical and audio troubles we've been working through here tonight, folks. But we appreciate you sticking with us as that goes for pickoff number 2. Nothing there. As the cheekiness continues. Oliball will find contact with that one. He will be thrown out at first, though. And that will stay at Miles Murphy. We will have Connor Rainey on second. But at least at this point, if you were the Cactus Rats, all you need is the one out. No matter how that comes, but you got to be careful. If you are Steel Whitcheck, not to let this one in a space where snow can turn it into an avalanche and crush this out of the park. He'll go swinging at that one. That'll be strike number 1. Snow 1 for 3 on the day off the back of his homer yesterday. That pitch goes out, but not a live ball. To the chagrin of the Fort McMurray faithful here, that is the crowd equivalent of visual confusion. As the Fort McMurray coaching staff are looking for an explanation. Bluebirds come out and they will confer. Looks like everything will stay as is. Bluebirds are out as that'll be strike 2. What a chance here for Steele Whitcheck, one of the newest Cactus Rats on this roster. Can he get the K and keep this game at a 1-run lead? That will foul off. What is this one going to be? What a moment here. Lane Snow, a homer yesterday, 1 for 3 today. The chance for a 4-run lead if he gets full contact on one of these with a new pitcher in Steele Whitcheck on the mound. There's the pitch, finds contact, throw to first. Down goes the side, and the Cactus Rats are staying within a single run, and they'll look to walk it off in just a quick moment. We will be right back from the top of the order. Dylan Cody, Drew Abercrombie, and Timo Aracena, the exact 3 batters you want if you want to win a game. We'll take a break and see what happens. You're watching the WCBL here on FloCollege.
Number 33, Dylan Cody.
Oh, baby, this is what you love to see. Dylan Cody is the first one up here as the Cactus Rats are down by 1 as that pitch goes ball 1. Cody with a couple really good hits on this one, but his real strength is as a base runner. That pitch goes well up. Like it could be on that somewhere on the first one. We already have a couple of steals here today. A couple of steals yesterday. As this count is the 2-0. That will end up fouled out. As Ash Amerlin, you're either getting a ball or a strike or a strikeout. As that'll go in for the ball number 3. Amerlin already behind in this one. 3-1 the count. Cody the tying run, and he will be on to first base. Outside of a solo shot home run, that is exactly what you want to see if you are a Cactus Rats partisan. As Drew Abercrombie checks in, 2 hits, 2 RBIs on the day. 286 on the season, 16 RBIs over the year. 6 walks, 12 hits, and that's only in a couple weeks as a Cactus Rat. What a moment for him. If he could find some bat on this one, as that'll be real close inside. Almost hit by the pitch there, certainly. 4 home runs, including a handful right here at Legacy Dodge Field. Homer here would walk it off. That will go for a strike. Once Amerlin starts to hit the strike zone, he tends to hit a couple in a row. 2-0 or 2-1 lead here for Abercrombie. Make that a 3-1. Pitch from Amerlin. Outside, and Abercrombie gets on to second. Wondering how long it'll be before you see the Fort McMurray bench get involved here. Timo Aracena, the 400 average on the season. Dylan Cody, the speedy young man from Illinois, on second. Drew Abercrombie, no slouch in foot speed himself, on first. 1 run ties it. 2 runs walks it off as we go ball 1 here with Timo Aracena. Zach Barneo waiting in the wings. We'll get to Seiji Umezawa at the very least here. We'll get to Marco Frank-Huel at the very least here. Excuse me. No outs. 1-1. Aracena sure to see his name come up for the All-Star Game selections, and they're announced tomorrow morning by the WCBL. Fouling off that one. What a moment. There is literally no one aside from maybe the one they call the Crow Show in Okotoks that you would want on the place right now than Timo Aracena. 2 on, no outs. Walk off territory. 1 run ties it. 2 runs wins it. Aracena fouls off again as this battle continues. Depending on where a single would fall, Dylan Cody with his speed could absolutely tie it here. .180 feet from home is Dylan Cody. Goes for the steal. There's the throw to second. It will not make it. And now Timo will go down. That being said, you have a stolen base from Dylan Cody.
Now to play number 37, designated hitter, Zach Barnett.
And somewhat smartly, that will be the intentional walk for Zach Barneo. Yeah, with his hitting ability and his .306, you don't want to risk it. But that being said, Seiji Umezawa, 286. Also, no slouch at all. And with no outs, all you need is, or with 1 out, excuse me, all you need is a single. And with Abercrombie and Cody, the speed that they have could put this into walk-off territory. Well, it looks like we've got a slight swap here in the order, as Frank Huell will jump ahead of Seiji Umezawa. Got to be real careful here if you are Ash Amerlin, though. A walk will tie it. That'll be strike one. This is nightmare territory for the Energy City Cactus Rats, as a couple weeks back looked like they had the game in the bag, but a walk-off walk ended up spelling a loss on their season. That pitch goes wild. Here's a tying run going home. Cody got at the plate. Wow. How about that? As Dylan Cody bolting for home will go down on the stealing home attempt for out number 2. Now, Abercrombie did make his way home, or to third, excuse me. You do have Thomas Harley now pinch running, on first, as that will foul off. As this count is 2s across the board. All you need is 1 to tie it if you are the Cactus Rats, and this one's going to extras. Finds contact, that will go! Finds the gap, and this game is tied! Welcome to the Cactus Rats, Marco Frank-Huell. That single gets him onto first base, bringing Drew Abercrombie home. I believe.
Now hitting 16, Seiji Umezawa.
We're just waiting for the updates here to confirm exactly what. So that is Seiji Umezawa. That'll foul off. So Thomas Harley is pinch running on first still. Seiji Umezawa is at the plate. That'll go for the strike. This game tied at 4. 2-2 the count. And that will sit down the Cactus Rats. That could have been the walk-off victory. This one's going to go on extra innings here. If you are following along on Point Streak, looks like there's a little confusion in what that particular website is reporting, but this game is indeed tied at 4. And we are heading off into extra innings. And remember, in extra innings, the hitting team will have a runner starting on second base. We'll take a break and be right back with extras here from Fort McMurray. You are watching Giants baseball. It's the WCBL on FloCollege.
pitching for the Cactus Rats, 27, Ronan Sexton.
That'll be strike one here for Matt Rhodes. This is 273 comes on the line. Runner on second as per WCBL rules. That'll be foul off that. As there is a new pitcher in here for the Energy City Cactus Rats. Coach Nick in there to check on one of the newer players in Cactus Rat Blue. That would be Ronan Sexton from Abbotsford, British Columbia. 6'4" righty out of Eastern Arizona. This is his second appearance for the team. His very first one, he went 2 innings deep against the Medicine Hat Mavericks on the very first home win in Cactus Rats history at Henry Singer on Sunday. That'll go outside for the ball number 1. 75 on that pitch. As the runner goes to third on the live ball. And the Giants are 90 feet away from pulling ahead in this one. This is an absolutely stunning ballpark here at Legacy Dodge Field in Fort McMurray. One of the a little bit tougher parts if you're a broadcaster, though, especially here on the visiting side. It can be kind of tough to see the exact things on the scoreboard until it gets a little darker. Thankfully, though, we can see properly, and so I can give you the best darn broadcast I can. Here's the pitch. Finding contact on that one as that will go off into center field. And that'll go down as the sac fly. As that'll bring home the runner that was on second. This game becomes a 5-4 margin with the double homer hands of Nick Chauvet in on the dish now. Knocking out for ball number 1. 5-4 the score. Cactus Rats with 1 out. 2-0 the count. Smart little grab there by Nick Hagen to keep that one from going wild, but with an empty infield or empty bases, no damage to be done there. There's the pitch. And we have a strike on the board for Nick Chauvet. If there is a quote-unquote easier part of the lineup, it's everyone after Nick Chauvet. But you just got to get through him. As Hill goes swinging at that one, as this is a full count. Three, 2, 1 down. Extra innings. Fort McMurray Giants ahead by 1. Here's the pitch. Swinging. Down he goes.
For your Fort McMurray Giants, from White State University, number 4, Zach Kavanaugh.
As Jerry Neville lets us know, that is Wright State's Zach Kavanaugh rolling in here. Already 1 strikeout today. And that'll be in for strike number 1. Two outs, 0-1. 1-run lead for the Fort McMurray Giants. Kavanaugh will make contact with that one. That'll head off into center field, and there to meet it is the Cactus Rat outfield. We'll take a quick break and be right back as the Energy City looks to walk it off here in the bottom of the 10th. You are watching Cactus Rats and Giants here. It is the WCBL on FloCollege.
Pitching for your Giants, 24, Wyatt Culbertson. 6, Nick Hagan.
The hero from Spruce Grove, or would-be hero, if he happened to homer this one off, as the Cactus Rats are going to go for the bunt, and that could do it. Will they get the first? Yes. Will they hit the third? Sacrifice bunt from Nick Hagan puts the runner in scoring position as you start to get into a very dangerous part of the Cactus Rat lineup. Starting with the man who, honestly, was initially shocked stayed in the game after he got absolutely crushed by a pitch right in the shoulder, but it hasn't stopped him as he's played some of his best baseball since that moment in Kenyon Sanders, as that'll go in for the ball number 1. Tying run 90 feet away. Remember, Kenyon Sanders just a handful of weeks back, as that goes for ball number 2. Had a grand slam home run to absolutely deal a crushing blow to the Regina Red Sox on the Cactus Rats Saskatchewan road trip. Tying run creeping ahead as that ball goes outside. Wyatt Culbertson is the pitcher now. As there, a strike will finally go the way of the Fort McMurray Giants. Wyatt Culbertson, 6'4" from Reno, Nevada. Strike 2 as this count moves to full. Wyatt Culbertson may have the most dramatic windup of any pitcher in the West Division, and it's incredible to watch. Just watch what the contortion that we see here when he gets through, as that'll go outside, and Kenyon Sanders is off to first base.
Number 40, Elias Campbell.
Elias Campbell from Patterson, New Jersey, does not yet have a home run on the season. He is rolling in with a .220. 18 hits on the year. The righty outfielder from the Florida campus of Embry-Riddle University. He'll go swinging at that one. That'll tip off for the foul. And a count of 0-1. Not quite in walk-off territory yet, although with the speed of Kenyon Sanders, it is possible. That'll go in for strike number 2. Still got some time. Only one out here in this one. Might you see another sac bunt? You will not, as the winning run moves to second. That'll go down as the steal and the ball, as Kenyon Sanders picks up yet another stolen base for his season. That'll be the 11th. As Elias Campbell will find purchase. This game is tied, as the runner is thrown out on first base, but that's okay. This game has moved to a 5-5 margin. I believe. Perhaps not. No, it does not look like it, unfortunately. Sorry, folks. I'm still working off the monitor here. We're doing our best. As Cody will find contact. And unfortunately, that'll do it. for the inning. Well, we keep going. We keep going on extras. All right, Kay, I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew the monitor wasn't lying to me too much. As this game is off to the 11th. We'll take a break and be right back. You're watching Cactus Rats and Fort McMurray Giants. It's a WCBL here on FloCollege.
Number 32, Scott Allen.
And we are back. Runner has already made it to their way to third. Now I'll go for strike one. One and one the count here. 2-1 the count. That is Zach Kavanaugh in the go-ahead run, sitting there. Quick sprint from home. The pitch finding contact and going outfield. That one will land inside the park, but it'll be enough for a left field double. That brings home Zach Kavanaugh as this score moves to a 6-5 margin in favor of the Giants. Scott Allen, the fortuitous hitter on that one, as that RBI double pulls Fort McMurray in the lead. Going for the bunt. Fielder's choice, and the error is going to send another run home, as the worst case scenario for the Cactus Rats pulls another run in for the Fort McMurray Giants. That has to sting, as Ronan Sexton is unable to make the throw across. As Connor Martin rolls up in this one, as the most dangerous part of the Fort McMurray lineup is just around the corner. $87 miles an hour on that one. Only a single run Or a single out. As we go 1-1-1. All gravy now for the Fort McMurray Giants. As they'll go inside for ball number 2. Thankfully, if you are a Cactus Rats supporter, a lot of very good hitters are up on deck. A lot of home run potential. Count of 3-1. And this game could be timed before you know it, but you just got to get 2 more outs to get there and mitigate as much damage as possible if you are this defensive crew. As that count goes to 3-2 as Ronan Sexton looks to pull the K out here. Two runs in for the Giants on this inning as that'll foul off. As that'll go off into the outfield. And it'll sit down at the warning track. As that'll bring up the top of the order for the Fort McMurray Giants and Connor Rainey. 2 hits today, improving his .255 on the season. If you are a Cactus Rat supporter, you really hope that this is where the inning goes, because after that you run into Elijah Olaball, Lane Snow, and Matt Rhodes and Nick Sauve, who've just made you pay more than once here in this one. As that'll go in for strike number 1 for Ronan Sexton. The pitch from Sexton. This count goes 1-1. Two and 1 with that one going outside. And that should do it for the inning. Tossing that one out and to Cody at first, and that'll retire the side. We'll take a break. The Cactus Rats got to pick up 2 here to keep this game going. You're watching the WCBL and the Fort McMurray Giants here on FloCollege.
That's 18, Drew Abercrombie.
Got the runner on second, Drew Abercrombie here. Again, if anyone's from home, it is Abercrombie. We're going to see who might be out there. Appear to be going for a swing. I'll go down for the 1-1. I believe that is Dylan Cody, but not 100% sure. And the steal is good. Yep, that does look like it is Dylan Cody, in fact. This count goes to 1-2 on the foul. Cody with the steal, though, as that one heads off in the right field. And it'll go down as the sacrifice fly. But this lead will be trimmed up as Cody gets home. And Cody get home. Excuse me, that looks like it was Marco Franchul. In fact, my apologies to Dylan's family if you happen to be watching. A little tough to see here on my monitor, I'm afraid. And swinging at that one is Timo Aracena. And yeah, no sacrifice indeed either, as Drew Abercrombie does. That just ends up as a good old-fashioned single. As this game is 6-7, 1 down here. Timo hit by a pitch. Oh, that's got to sting. As he will head off to first. Now the Cactus Rats are in walk-off territory. As that'll be now pinch hitting. Looks like Reese Ruderman. One down, runners on second and first. Ruderman here. I'll go for the 0-1. From Katy, Texas, and Southwest Baptist University, a 227 on the year. Couple of doubles. Yet to find the home run, as going for the bunt is Ruderman. He will be thrown out at first. However, the tying run in Drew Abercrombie is now sitting on third base, which you do love to see. Timo on second. And Franchul will be walked. So Seiji Umezawa in here now. What a moment it could be for him to have some heroics in this one. 286 on the year, only 3 appearances so far. Couple of hits, 1 RBI, stolen base. Only his 9th at bat. One down here with a tying run on third with Abercrombie. Count goes 2-0 as the Boo Birds are in full force here. The pitch from Culbertson. That'll be the strike. A single for sure ties it. A double could win it. that's fouled off. 2-2. 6-7 the score. Abercrombie the tying run on third. Timo, your walk-off winner on second. Umezawa and Culbertson. Seiji chops that foul. And this at-bat will keep on going. What a moment. Nick Hagen warming up. Pitch to Umezawa. That one chops foul, and we will keep on going. How about this? That one goes a little outside, but Umezawa smartly holding off Abercrombie, having him stay at, holding off Abercrombie on third. In his freshman season with the Sussex Skylanders, 4 home runs and a .312. He is no stranger to hitting at high-pressure moments. That will find some space, throwing home, sliding in. And down goes Abercrombie. That will push the Cactus Rats to their final out with Nick Hagen here. The last piece of hope for the energy sitting at Cactus Rats. Second year for the team for Nick Hagen. Actually hitting less this year than he did last year as that little chop foul. .316 last year. This year only with the .222. Gotta start to hope if you're the Cactus Rats that Culbertson's arm might start to get a little tired here. Maybe you can hope for a run of walks and tie this one up, but as it stands right now, with 2 runs thrown out at home, Cactus Rats could be down to their last swing of the bat. Would be a mega win for the Giants. And it will be, as the Fort McMurray Giants win this one in extras. They are just 2 games back. An absolute momentum-building win here. As coming into the series, the Cactus Rats had a chance to take the Giants and put them 6 games back, almost putting them fully out of contention to hold on to that last playoff spot, and instead 2 wins given up. The Giants are right back into it, and in the great fashion of the WCBL, we are going to see a playoff race that, by my suspicion, is going to go right down to the wire. What a performance by Wyatt Culbertson to close this one out. But you are going to have a lot of feelings of regret if you are a Cactus Rat partisan, as multiple times this game was in very winnable territory. And throws out at home ended up being the downfall. Story of the season so far, as the Cactus Rats lose another one in extras or in the 9th. Tough moment, but that team will rebound, as they have shown they have the ability to all season long. As the Cactus Rats get set for a showdown with the Lethbridge Bulls tomorrow. Couple games against the Bulls, then they'll be down in Brooks. You gotta hope you can pull a win against Lethbridge because they have been stellar all season long, fighting for Okotoks for top spot. In the meantime, this Fort McMurray squad will be right back at it here tomorrow at Legacy Dodge Field as they await